Okay, we've all been there, right? You've got a critical deadline, a pile of essential paperwork, and that clock on the wall just keeps ticking. It's a super stressful moment. But what if there was a playbook for turning that high-stakes panic into a total success in just 36 hours? Let's break down exactly how it's done. Just imagine this for a second. Your flight leaves in 3 days, but you're missing a super important, officially certified translation. Every single hour counts, and the whole situation feels, well, impossible. So, where do you even start? But what if that impossible deadline could actually be met in just 36 hours? Yeah, that's the hero number of this story. And believe me, it is a complete game changer when you are really up against the clock. So, this brings us to a real-world story about a client named Chris R. He found himself in this exact high-stakes situation. He had a travel deadline that absolutely could not move, and he needed a very specific solution, like yesterday. The pressure here was just immense. So Chris was flying to Germany, and he needed a certified translation, which, has its own set of really strict official rules. But here's the real kicker. He needed physical hard copies, and his flight was taking off in just 3 days. The margin for error was literally zero. So with that clock ticking away, Chris did what most of us would do. He started calling agencies for help. But right away, he slammed into this huge obstacle, and it had nothing to do with translation. It was all about technology. And look, this wasn't just a one-off problem. He reached out to 5 different agencies, and every single time he hit the same digital wall. It's such a common and incredibly frustrating barrier in our automated world. You can see the disconnect right here. On one side, you've got all these automated systems saying, upload your files, email us a PDF, just use our portal. But on the other side, there was the human reality of Chris. He doesn't use an email, he's holding the original documents in his hand, and more than anything, he needed absolute certainty the job would get done right. And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? When the very system that's supposed to help you is actually the biggest thing standing in your way, where do you go? It's that moment of pure frustration. But you know what? It's also where the breakthrough happens. The answer, it turns out, wasn't some new app or a more complex system. Instead, it came from something much more fundamental, something we sometimes forget about, a simple human-to-human interaction. And that's it. That is the entire secret sauce right there. The fix wasn't a better algorithm or a faster website. The fix was building a process around the actual person and what they needed, instead of forcing that person to fit into a rigid digital box. So here's what that playbook looks like in action. Step 1, Chris got a real human on the phone. Step 2, he asked for a face-to-face meeting, something no digital portal was offering. This let him confirm every single detail in person and, crucially, lock in a firm collection time. No guesswork, no ambiguity, just a clear, solid plan. And you can just hear the relief in his own words. He said they actually listened. That one simple act of listening, of treating him like a human being, it made all the difference. This wasn't just a transaction anymore. It was about wiping away the stress and giving him some peace of mind when he needed it most. So once that human-centered process was in motion, the results were, well, incredible. The focus completely shifted from hitting digital walls to hitting that deadline. And honestly, the outcome just speaks for itself. I mean, just look at this timeline. An urgent call Tuesday morning. Chris drops off the documents in person that same afternoon. By Wednesday evening, just about 36 hours later, the certified translation was totally complete. Come Friday, he was ready for his flight, documents right there in his hand. That kind of speed was only possible because handling it in person cut out all the typical delays from back and forth emails and frustrating upload errors. So when you look at what was really delivered here, it was so much more than just a piece of paper. It was in-person handling. It was an official ready translation. It was a rapid turnaround that was perfectly synced to his deadline. And maybe most important of all, it was direct human support that gave him the certainty he desperately needed. Okay, so what's the big lesson here? What can we all take away from this story for the next time we're staring down one of those impossible deadlines? It really all boils down to one powerful idea. And that idea is accessibility. Now, when I say that, I'm not just talking about a wheelchair ramp. In this context, it means providing a real alternative for people who can't, or just flat out don't want to, use automated systems. A face-to-face option isn't old-fashioned. It's a seriously powerful tool that gets rid of friction, confusion, and a whole lot of risk. And that brings us right to the main message of this whole thing. The best, most effective solutions are the ones that create a process to fit the person, not force the person to fit the process. So I'll leave you with a final thought to chew on. The next time you're trying to solve a really tough problem, for yourself or for somebody else, and the stakes are incredibly high, just pause and ask yourself this one question. Is the solution human enough?